Why do we start with get honest? Hi there, it's Martin, and that is a great question that's been coming out of some conversations I've been having recently about the 7 steps to improve your life. And if you remember, I've been talking about the 7 steps, my framework to improve your life, change anything, overcome anything, achieve anything in life. And it's get honest, get clear, get passionate, get help, get planning, take action, get celebrated. Those are the 7 steps. And one of the conversations I've been having recently is about the first step, about why is it get honest? Why do we need to get honest as a first step? Why can't we just roll in and just start taking action? Because surely the most important thing is take action. But we can, but if you want to see the sunset and you're running east, then you're not going to see the sunset. Or if you want to see the beach and you're running towards the mountains, you can take as much action as you like, passionate action. It could be the fastest action you've ever taken, the most committed action you've taken ever. But it'd be the wrong action. It's taking you in the wrong direction. So honesty is this first part. And I just want to kind of bring it to life for you because there's a few things around this. If we say that everything's fine, if we go around and go, come on, we've all done it, right? How's things? Oh, they're fine. How's work? Fine. How's family? Fine. How you feeling? Fine, right? And the reality is, it's not really fine, right? It's below fine, but we just put on this brave face and fine. But we're not being honest with other people, but that in itself has an impact on us, because the more we keep saying it's fine, even though we don't believe it's fine, what tends to happen is we start believing that this is actually just how it has to be. So the longer this goes on without any change, without any improvement, we just start accepting it and normalizing the fact that this is not fine. In fact, I like to say, if this is fine, this is Finesville, right? Finesville, this is. We've all been to Finesville, or we've always all pretended to be at Finesville. But really, we might be at Sucksville. It's a technical phrase for when things just aren't right, right? They are not fine, they suck. Okay, so Sucksville, there's a big difference between Sucksville and Finesville. But what can happen over time is we can go, well, I don't like this, it's not improving, it's not changing, because we don't believe it can, and we just normalize it, and we go, well, this is just how it's got to be. At this level in an organization, to be this leader, to be this manager in this kind of company, or to be the business owner, or in this industry, and to do that and have a family and everything that goes around it, you know what? I can't have the balance that I want, for example. So it is all about working long hours. It is all about being stressed and overwhelmed, and family sacrifice is what's needed. It's what's accepted. It's just how it is. If I need to be this over here, I can tell you now, for somebody who believed that lie for so many years, it is so not true. It'll wreck your life, right? If you think it's bad at Sucksville, you carry on with telling yourself that lie for a sustained period of time. It is not pretty. But the thing is, we'll start just believing it. And that is not a great place. We'll believe that we can't improve it, we can't change it. And I know a lot of people out there are like that, and they look at the 7 steps to improve, and it's like, but I can't because. Well, you can if we start with get honest. So instead of us going around going, oh, it's fine, let's just admit that, it sucks. I'm not saying that maybe your life sucks. I'm maybe saying it's just not quite where you want it to be. Maybe life is pretty good, but it's like, oh, if only I could just get a bit more balance, or if I could just be a bit more impactful over here, or feel a bit more in control or confident over here, or just spend some more quality time with my children here. Or it can be small margins. It doesn't have to all be falling apart. But the thing is it possible that, taking our example of Finesville, is it possible that the actions that you would take, maybe the order in which you would take them, the intensity that you might take them, could be different between if you are genuinely starting at Finesville versus you're starting at Sucksville? Is it possible that it would be different? The answer, by the way, I'd argue is yes. Because if everything feels like it sucks, then there's a lot to unpick there about what that is, what's driving that, all manner of influences. We could pick all of that apart. That's very different. And there's still mindset stuff to be done. There's still shifts. And if you want to change or improve or achieve anything, and you haven't done it yet, there is going to be a shift in mindset you need. But there's going to be more to unravel if things suck versus they're fine. So if we go around going, oh, it's fine, and then we take actions as if things are fine, they're going to be the wrong actions, or they're going to be in the wrong order. You're not going to do them with the right intensity, or they're not going to have the right focus, and you'll carry on. And guess what? They won't work. It'll fall apart. You won't sustain them, mostly because you won't believe that they're the right actions in the first place, and your starting point is all over the place. It's like building on sand. It's just going to fall apart. So the reason we start with honesty is because that dictates what we're then going to focus on. And the action, yes, action's the most important thing we need to do anything, but we need to make sure it's the right action for the right reasons at the right time and in the right way. And if we start with an honest starting point, then we're more likely to do that. It's like putting it in your sat nav. And I say that the first two steps, get honest and get clear, are like setting up your sat nav. One is your starting point and one is your destination. Well, if we're not being honest with ourselves, it's literally like programming our sat nav going, well, here's the destination I want to get to, and then putting our starting point as 50 miles down the road. So what about the gap? You're actually 50 miles away from the starting point. So what? You've got no roadmap, you've got no plan, you've not got the actions to get you 50 miles down the road. In fact, that would be the first step. It's not about trying to get to the destination in one foul swoop. It's about the steps and stages along the way. But if you're not honest, you're 50 miles, you'll pretend you're 50 miles down the road. You're closer to the destination than you really are, and it's going to trip you up. It'll trip you up with your destination and how far you think you are away from that. It's gonna trip you up with your why. It's gonna trip you up with getting help. It's gonna trip you up with your action plan. It's gonna trip you up with the actions you take. And there's not going to be much celebration because you're not going to be making progress, and it's just going to feel like this isn't working. And there's a reason, because we weren't being honest in the first place. So this, my friends, is why get honest is the very first step in my 7 steps to improve your life. And I really hope I've brought it to life in maybe a way that I haven't done before. But it's so important. I know it can take a bit of courage. I know it can get a bit emotional. I know we might not want to go there. But if you want to improve something, if you want to change something, if you want to overcome something, if you want to achieve something, no matter where you are, you might not be at Sucksville. It might be okayville. It might be actually things are pretty goodville, but you just want to take things to the next level. You've got to be honest about what that looks like, what that feels like. And all aspects of that, like I said, about the work stuff, about the family stuff, about you, about life. How does that all feel? Let's get honest about all of that. And then we can make sure that we can build the action plan that's going to be appropriate and get you to whatever that next destination is that you want to get to as quickly as possible and with as less trial, error, pain, suffering, and challenge. That's the aim. That's the aim. That's why get honest is the first step. Hope you've enjoyed this. I'd love to know what you think. Drop your comments in below. Let us know where maybe sometimes you haven't been honest and then it's kind of like it's tripped you up. I'm not talking about just telling lies, but about how you feel about life. Or maybe when you did get honest and then you started taking those steps, started taking that action, started shifting small things, and how that all then snowballed into momentum. I'd love to know what you think about getting honest and that first step in the 7 steps to improve your life. Thank you so much for watching. If you love this, make sure you're following, and so you can see lots of other juicy tidbits like this. Always my privilege and pleasure to help you, to support you. And together, let's get honest. And if you need any help with this, just drop me a line. I'm right here to help you. Let's get honest.